Hello everyone. Today we're going to look at the Cartesian plane, but we're going to look at how to chart a circle. A little bit different. One of the things we'll need to know is the square root, and understanding the square root is you also get a negative and a positive answer out of it. As you just see here, we've got our own little graph here with a beautifully plotted Cartesian plane and a nice circle. Now let's go onto the sheet to show you how to do this. First thing we need to know is our formula. So do a formula is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So that's our lovely little formula there. Just remember to put a plus. Now, how are we going to change this around a bit? What we want it to be, well, what we look like, is y equals, which is y equals the square root of, so we will go sqrt square root of r squared, take x squared with the brackets closed. That's going to be the crux of our formula. So let's make our little table. We're going to say the radius, or the r, is going to be 5. When it comes to your formula, obviously it'll be different, so we'll type radius. And let's say 5. Make our little table. Start at 5. Radius is 5. When you learn about the formula, you'll realise that with your table, you want it at 5 and -5 is the highest you want to go. So we're going to change in increments of 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to go this, take 1 equals 4, scroll down, fill down, and we'll go to -5. That fill down function is really important. That fill down function is one of the most important functions that we have in Excel. Just practice with it. Fill down, you can do whatever you want with it. So, and if you look at some of my previous videos, you'll see that I use it all the time. We're going to say this column here is the X column, and we're going to say this is the Y column. So let's make that prettified. Now you noticed I've put a spare column in the middle. When you get a bit more advanced, you won't need the spare column. This column here is going to do the formula without the square root. It's just the square root function is a little bit, you can do it, but it's easier if you don't. So I'm just going to put sqr square root there. Well, that's without the square root. Okay, so what's our formula? Look back here. We know it is. How you start a formula, everyone? That's right. You start with equal sign. So we're saying the square radius to the power of 2. Power, that's the shift 6. Power of 2. Take x to the power of 2. Power, shift 6, 2. And we go enter. 0, that's good. We want it to be 0. Again, get that. Fill down. That is quite interesting. Very important. Okay, we need to lock in this radius. So if you look at this function here, you can see that F4 is there. That's really good, that's what we want. Now if we go to the next one, it's x5, so the radius is nothing. We want that to be 5. Now how do you do that with the fill down function? Get on that. You go to F4. Now you want to lock this into the formula, so we press $signs, that's shift 4, $signs, shift 4, and again we go fill down. This will give us the r squared. Now we want to find the square root of that, which equals q RT returns the square root of the number, and then we go, we just double click on that one, and then we click on that, because that's the one we want, enter, and then we go fill down, and that gives us the square root of everything. Now, what we want to do is we want to graph this, so what we do is we go into insert, scatter. Now let's go this. Hold control. Select all of them. Let's go scatter. I'm just going to go dots. And then we have a graph. But if you look there, that is only a semicircle. I think from the beginning I told you that if you square root something, it has a negative and a positive outcome. Now the problem with Excel is it's a computer and it can only do simple functions. In our brains we know this, but in Excel it only gives you the positive square root. So what we do again is we simply just copy these, copy our x's, drag them down and paste by holding control when you let go. And then what we want to do here is we want to copy this fill down. We want to have a negative square root, so this will give you your negative numbers. Enter. So now what we do is we just again fill down, and that we should just be able to go fill down, and this will give us the negative square roots. So now we can double click on our graph and it will see these little boxes. We just drag them down and that encompasses the entire circle. Now you know this looks like an oval, but it's not actually an oval, it's just the perception of how the chart is sized in Excel. But if it was, yeah, it's a perfect circle. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed. So yeah.